line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
A star-studded lineup has engaged down onto the track here with 21 of the best about to hit it up in a Super Late Model division. This is the GOAT Racing League Diecast LLC Super Series here live on PT Racing TV in Concord, Concord, North Carolina. This is Charlotte Motor Speedway here on PT Racing TV. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader, Chris Stroud, joining you guys here today. Star-studded lineup, heavy hitters ready to go at it. And before we get to that, here's our lineup, and presented in part by GOAT Racing League Diecast LLC. On the pole, the number 19, Dio Dahl on the outside, and the number 60 is John Hickman Jr. Row number 2, and the 91 will be Wesley Donaldson on the outside, and the 43 Samuel Orell. Row number 3, and the number 42 is Dakota Kramer on the outside, and the 24 Cody Sturgill. Row number 4, and the number 12 is Ryan D. Cook, the outside, and 04, that's Doug Sigmund. Row number 5, and the number 22, that's Alan Wild, the outside, the 11, that's Ron Holyfield. Row number 6, that will be piloted down by Charles Van Schaik, the 23 the outside, and the number 7, that is Scott Simley. Row number 7 is this 2, Mike Kelly the outside. And the number 26 is Seth Fouty. Row number 8. And the 127 is Kevin England the outside. And number 16, Steve Ritter. Row number 9, the 74 is Brian Werman the outside. And the number 69, Zachary Fouty. Or 09, excuse me. Row 10 is Roger Stickland. And the number 52 the outside. The 84, MDM Callantoni. And finally in the 96, it's Jerry Livingston. The time has come, race fans, to begin our showcase. Reeling back down off for the corners here to the front straightaway. We green flag flies. We're underway. We didn't quite have enough time to get the camera system working around here, so we have some older cameras working around here. This is Legacy Charlotte, ladies and gentlemen, not our new Charlotte we have on track, so it'll be a little bit of a different feel, different kind of look around for this kind of racing. But it's the same high-octane atmospheric pressure you get with 80 laps to the distance. Coming around the first set of corners here, Tyler Dalton taking the early lead here. Wesley Donaldson's trying to keep up his pace, trying to keep up to his drive. I think the thing you're going to see a lot of today, too, is a lot of drivers trying to push and shove their way as much as they can, while at the same time having to constantly fight the ever-elusive high banks and tough corners of Old Charlotte. Budweiser, number 43, is Samuel Orell, right up on top side of the number 42, Dakota Kramer. Last time we caught Kramer out here, he had a little bit of a headache, to say the least, with the racing he dealt with. Was doing good at one point, the next thing you know, doing absolutely nothing but getting destroyed and taken for a ride into the cleaners, if you will. He's looking to keep that away from happening today, but the pressure will certainly be on. Lined off from point A to point B. Drivers now starting to go single file here. Kind of surprised here. They're going into a single file rotation. I thought maybe they'd be able to stick into the double file side here for a little while. That seems to be not the case. Here, listen to that horsepower too. You can see actually the way Hickman Jr. is kind of rolling the corners. He's having to back out quite a bit just to make sure the car stays under control and lines up. He's obviously trying to keep the draft, to keep the speed up, but at the same time, he knows he can't let the car get too out of shape or too out of control, because there's one thing about Old Charlotte, is that it is slick and it's tough. And Wesley Donaldson right now trying to exploit that on Tyler Dalton, as here comes the number 43, Samuel Orell. Big jump to the inside. He's got the 60 Hickman Jr. The Winn-Dixie machine just was not able to hang on back and hold it off for just enough time. Stranglehold around the corners and into the distance. Passed on back to around the field right now, the number 2, Mike Kelly in the Valvoline machine. Last Tuesday night series and season, the truck series. Well, he was in the top 4 contention. He was in that championship hunt. He wanted everything he could and wanted to take home the titles, but unfortunately, it was not to be. I asked him coming into this season, he said, point blank, it's more of a fun thing for me than anything, but that's just what makes it worth it more to win a championship. Speaking of championships as well, really in my opinion, the guy that should have had a championship in his name that unfortunately probably is more than likely never going to let that one let go is this man, the 84, laying out on the Talking Giants versus the world. It's Anthony M. Calantoni. Calantoni last season putting up a clutch performance at Auto Club, only to just been shattered by what happened at Phoenix International Raceway. If you want to know exactly what happened, the broadcast is on our YouTube channel. Be sure to look it up and take a look at it. The ending will make your jaws drop, and the absolute emotions that came from these drivers just tell you everything you need to know about their thoughts and process that came with the racing side of things. Sammy Morrell moving up second spot right now, and this guy right now, he is hungry. You know why he's hungry? He's hungry to get a win. He's hungry to finally get on top of the mountain again. He has not been there in so long. He is just absolutely in that zone today, in my opinion, to finally get himself out of that mess and back into the top spot. But to do so, he's got to find a way to take down the man we've nicknamed the Reign of Terror. Tyler Dalton is without a doubt probably one of the toughest, if not maybe the toughest driver these GOAT Racing boys, as well as the Sim 500 camp, must deal with on a constant basis. Dalton has been known to constantly go out there, put on the fight, put on the shots, put on the drive, and give them everything they got. He's been doing it time and time again. And he's looking to prove it again with this race today. Stacked up in the lineup right now. Here comes the 91 Donaldson, the WBD diecast machine, trying to make Sammy Morrell pay for trying to pass him up so quickly. But you can just see the way the car is kind of floating around the rear end. It wants to slip out. It wants to kind of get out of shape and out of control there. And that, in my opinion, is what's hurting the drivers more than anything. Kramer, even more troubles for the 42. Last week, it was issues with the drivers. This time, it's really issues with the car itself. He's out of the race. A tough break there for Kramer. Sammy Morrell earlier on making a great move off to the top spot there, but it looks like he may have been cooked up a little bit quicker than he realizes. Can't quite get his speed back, can't quite get his momentum back underneath him. Charles Van Schaik, number 23, McDonald's DoorDash machine, dashing his way up to the front right now. Currently got Seth Foudy in the number 26 right up ahead of him. As Anthony M. Calantoni and the number 22 of Alan Wild working their way through. Calantoni right now currently trying to deal with Wild and as well as deal with Foudy right up on his right side there. As you can see, Wild, the Wild man, does not give an inch too much here. And he'll be known to kind of roll the corners and really fight this way off. The Valvoline 26 trying to get back inside. He's stuck on the outside lane. That's not a line he wants to go with. But sometimes you just don't have much of a choice. It's either you make it or you break it, son. And he's trying to break it in. He did get a break off that one. Wild having to back off. Wild realized that may not have been his smartest move to give him that room or give that opening. And Wesley Donaldson now, he even gets a little bit out of shape here. Everybody except Dalton so far has gotten troublesome out of the corners. And seems to be having a little bit of a difficult time kind of maneuvering through. What might be the case though? Why is it they're struggling so hard to roll the corners off? For that, let's go to our onboard camera here presented by GOAT Racing Diecast. Let's take a look at this. You're on board with Tyler Dalton. Let's see where exactly he's getting the speed at and where is the car kind of staying in control. Well, judging off right there, I think there's two big things right now we gotta judge off from everyone else. You see they're catching the traffic. You see the RPMs a lot stronger on their front than it was on his. His only going about 69. They go about 71, 72 on the RPM list because of that trap. But I think what also is the biggest issue is the dirty airflow that's trapping around these drivers as we got problems coming off the front straightaway. We've got a huge crash. Cody Sturgill is involved and he is in the front stretch destroyed. And a Kellogg's number 24 destroyed badly on the front straightaway here. Not sure exactly what transpired. We were on boards. They're coming around the line. Let's take a look at the P10 Race TV instant replay. Oh, right there, you can see he just got a little bit loose there, and poor Mike Kelly, the 2, unfortunately, caught up. Oh, guard. Ouch. And Alan Wild just smashing right into that 24, unfortunately. Nothing he can do about that. We'll go on board with the 22 of Wild here and see exactly what he saw in that little hiccup there. Look at the top left of your screen. There you see a smoke. Well, you run into that smoke, you don't know where you're at that point. Looks like that might have been Calatoni, actually, that got him. Yeah, that was Calatoni there. That got him in the initial contact. I apologize, Wild. I did not mean to get you confused there with him. Brian Wortman right now going to stay out for the time being. Tyler Dalton going into pit road, and he's going to stretch out. It looks like a fuel stop and go for these drivers. No tires, it looks like. All fuel. Cody Sturgill going to get some damage cleaned up on the machine there and trying to get himself situated out. A lot of position changes in that one. Brian Wortman staying out, though. Zachary Fauci, Mike Kelly, Doug Sigmund, Cody Sturgill, all getting into pit road and getting themselves cleaned up. Sammy Orell looks like he may have took a little bit of damage, too, in that hit. Oh, yeah, he did right there. See the right side of that car damaged up a bit. I think that might have been from hitting the wall earlier on. He's going to have to work with it. He's going to have to deal with it for a little bit. And Workman in the pit road late. Interesting call there on his end. Shan Paul says, good luck, drivers. Chris Mayo says, new Monday Night League here starting in November. And yes, Mayo, we are well aware of that because, ladies and gentlemen, that will be one of our new coverage systems we've got going on. Monday night's going to be covered by PTM Racing TV. We cannot wait to see what kind of action we can bring to the table and what we'll see. Thank you again to both our friends and family and drivers and friends alike coming on out and down to the track and on the broadcast. If you are new to the show as well, be sure to share us around and follow us on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Subscribe there for more action and great content. Trust me, guys, there's a lot of great moments and stuff you do not want to miss from our close 0.1 of a 1,000 second finishes. 2 of them to be exact. 1 at Texas and on the road course of all things. And then 1 at Kentucky Speedway that even iRacing gave us the old rub and nudge on. So thanks, iRacing. Appreciate you guys for that one. Although I will say, I still get a chuckle every time I see some of the comment section from Twitter when some of those tweets saying that my voice sounds like I'm talking in all caps. They know me on the broadcast. They know me in general. I am a loudmouth as much as I love to get passionate about this stuff. So yeah, if I sound like I'm talking all caps, it's because I'm enjoying it too much. So, hey, but it seems to work for us because the fans do it and you guys enjoy it. So that's all we really care about. Chris Miles says, love the broadcasting. Very professional. Chris, thank you so much for the support coming on down as well today. Going to roll him right off, ladies and gentlemen, now. The field still has about 1/4 the way to go here. Tyler Dalton's still going to be the race leader. Old Higman Jr., though, he's going to have himself a little bit of some playing room and some work, a little bit of time to work with. Ryan D. Cook, Wesley Donaldson, rounding out your top 2 rows, 4 rows. So right now, Dalton had really didn't have any troubles, honestly. I was about to say, he had really no troubles in terms of having to deal with drivers. So right now, his only thing is he just needs to stay on defense and keep the offensive drivers on his tail through all of it. Everyone else knows, though, if they can work together and get something figured out, it's not too hard to take down a reign of terror. How do you think they deal with tyrants in real life? Not call Tyler a tyrant by any means. He's just a tough driver to beat, trust me there. Let's roll him back down off turn number 4, down to the front straightaway here, and back to the green flag. Here we go. Tough start there for Ryan D. Cook. Did not get off the line there. And they'll fire him up quick. Dalton's going to take the lead immediately. John Higman Jr. now going on the offensive trail. Dalton going a little bit low on the white line, trying to defend. He's trying to get the dirty air around Higman Jr. so he'll have some time to breathe. And maybe a little bit of time to kind of work around from there. Straighten it back off, down off turn number 4 here right now. Charles Van Schaik coming up right behind Ron Holyfield in the number 11. And Holyfield looking to try to build some speed and trying to build up a little bit of power and kind of keep him at bay. And for those that are wondering at home as well, if you're wanting to join this league and want to join this racing, well, our friends at Sim 500 Esports Racing League just says join today at sim500.com. So if you want to race these cats and you want to race the tough best and you want to get some extremely good broadcasting with it, hey, I'd sign up. Why not? What do you got to lose? On board here with Scott Simley right now on the number 7, and I'm kind of disappointed he didn't bring back me the Heineken machine here. For those at home that are really wondering what the heck am I talking about, he used to drive on Saturday nights the Next Gen Cup Series. He had a Heineken scheme he ran the entire season. And I always love saying it. You're just going around on the track, and I'd be like, here, well, hang on before I get too in depth with the story here. We got a problem. And that problem is right now the Align Outdoors number 12. That is Ryan D. Cook and the number 12 machine, unfortunately coming to a dead stop. The Ford Mustang camp not in the place he wanted to be. Smacked up in the wall. We're going to the P3 TV minutes to replay to see what went wrong here. Guy rolled out right off turn number 3, and bam, right there. Steph Audi just gave him the old love nudge, the old love tap, the old bumper stomp, the old kiss of death. There's so many things you can call it. One more look at it. From my point of view right here, you see Audi was trying to kid him on the corner, had to try to back out, but he couldn't back out in time, and unfortunately, too little too late, the damage has been hit. And the thing is too is that these guys don't get any fast repairs, so whatever they damage, that's on them. Case in point, look at the number 2's front nose there. Mike Kelly earlier on, you saw the damage he took. He's been trying to fix it out as he's gone along for this race, and so far has not been doing him any good. Another round of fuel pit stops. Fuel for the drivers. Tyler Dalton getting out there first. Hickman Jr. going to go second, and then third, Wesley Donaldson. Zachary Foudy, Mike Kelly, Brian Wortman, they stay out. Which is kind of interesting to me, too, because again, we saw Brian earlier on. He went into pit road, and then he decided to kind of just go out later in the run and then see what he can do there. But now, it's kind of a bit of a change up here, kind of a bit of a flip of the coin, saying kind of what they want to do and kind of what they want to bring to the table here. So right now, Fouty, Kelly staying out. Wortman's gone to pit road. Dalton, for the first time, is going to have to figure out how to play a little offensive here and get ahead of him. I think that could, in theory, make for a bit of a struggle here. Maybe a little bit of a time or two to kind of make around it. A track like this, though, again, this is Legacy Charlotte, so from what I remember on Legacy Charlotte is that it is a little bit slicker down there. And it's a little tougher to hold the line down compared to the Charlotte we have right now. The one we have that most fans and drivers usually have raced on, it's a little bit smoother, it's a little bit more narrowed in, but it's still very hard to handle and very tough to kind of center around. This kind of old school track, if you will, still is smooth, and you would think, well, that shouldn't be too hard to drive, should it? Well, you got to remember the speeds and the carrying and momentum they're carrying around it. It becomes very difficult to kind of narrow down the gaps, narrow down speeds. And of course, you got old Wheeler's bumps, old Humpy Wheeler's bumps back there on that back straightaway. So these cars, as low as they are to the ground clearance, they're gonna bump, 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 and rattle around a lot. So that's gonna basically force everyone to kind of stay on their toes and stay on that gas pedal to try to get past those bumps as quick as possible. But in turn, if you enter into those corners wrong, and then you're basically hoping you can find a way out of it without tightening the car up too badly. We're gonna bring them around. We're not quite halfway there just yet, but the field certainly, probably at this point, feels like they're getting there. So Zachary Fouty, this is the first time we're going to be seeing him on the top spot here. We know what Mike Kelly can do. May have gone winless last season, but man, did he put up a lot of runner-ups. So I think it's kind of hilarious. He decided to go with the 2 for this year. I don't know if maybe that has something to do with being a runner-up most of his races. Gonna bring it right off at turn number 4 this time on by. Fouty looking to get the track set up. He's gonna go ahead and get the ignition started. Green flag back out. We're underway. Mike Kelly immediately trying to get to the bottom and defend off Dalton. He knows what Dalton's up to, and he's not gonna hang back anytime soon. 3 wide through 1 and 2. Oh, Dalton said, well, you want to see some offensive plays? Here you go, boys. 3 wide, down the back straightaway now. Every driver for themselves. I think that's a pretty good sign that it's going to be a lot more difficult to try to roll from there. Now Mike Kelly on the outside, nearly clipping the wall off, hangs on. Got very fortunate there, but that could have gone either way. This is what it looks like when you basically play track race with a super late model. You're just holding that wheel and hoping and praying. And that's exactly what they're doing right about now. Dalton with the lead. Donaldson trying to get back up to him and treading into the draft. Every driver for themselves as they maneuver their way through turn number 3 into turn number 4. Gap up the bridge and gap up the speeds and try to hope for something to go your way. Ryan D. Cook right now, the number 12 machine, back on the Bud Light. Or the Budweiser number 43, I should say, of Samuel Horrell. Samuel and Ryan right now trying to work together, get this thing back into place. Very interesting scheme designs and pretty much kind of pinpointed themselves to know who is who. The only difference is one side is inverted with red, one side is inverted with blue. And the gap now starting to stretch out a bit there. You see in the back of the pack right now, Roger Strickland, Kevin England, Brian Wertman, and Steve Ritter, and the living legend, Jerry Livingston. Yes, that's his nickname, the living legend. Somehow, some way, through all these seasons, through all these times, he hasn't changed the schemes and he hasn't changed his look. So for that, Livingston, don't change yourself, brother. You know, I asked him about that too. I'm like, why the heck do you keep coming back out here and racing with these tough young cats? And why do you try to keep facing up against them? He's like, well, why not? Why shouldn't I? Kind of talked to him about it. I'm like, good point. Livingston, there you go. That's right there. That's one of the reasons too. He puts it right up on Steve Ritter and he makes the jump on the inside. The living legend still got it, ladies and gentlemen. Roger Strickland right now on the number 1. Supposed to be in the 52 today, but it got a little invert on the change there. Dakota Kramer got back out on the track here despite the mechanical problems. The 42 wants to keep going. Move our way back to the front right now. Currently Wesley Donaldson having some company there. Here comes the number 7, Scott Simley. Simley deep into the inside, running his line off on the WD Diecast 91. Donaldson's already got a couple wins to his credit, to his name. He's looking to add to his tally and his total. And even right now, I'll say this about Mike Kelly, despite the damage on that front of the nose, looks like he's got some life in the draft. But his start was not as good as it should have been, or maybe what it could have been. And in turn, that ended up seeing Zachary Fouty kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place when they went 3 wide. Here comes Cody Sturgill, the number 24, coming on the track. He's going to have a couple laps down, though. The 24 is still extremely badly damaged, and nothing he can do about it. Seth, the other brother, the only feather member of Fouty right now, going at it here with the rest of the field. He jumps his way back off from the troubles earlier. Whoa, trouble down there. We got a problem. Caution is out on the track. Looks like Roger Strickland, Steve Ritter, Alan Wild getting themselves into something here. It's not often I have to say the wild man gets himself into a situation, but it looks like that is the case. Take a look and see what happened here. Here is the Pizza Racing TV instant replay. Wild, oh yeah, right there. Oh man, just a slight nudge and a little corner off there. Although to be honest, that's a pretty good save there. If you think about it, that was a pretty good save from Wild. Gotta take another look at it from the replay. Again, he did not get into the wall. He didn't get himself any messes. He just opened up his own lawn care service and pretty much got cleared out the rest of the weeds that were down there. As soon as he got on that apron, he was kind of in trouble. So at this point, he was on the brakes, just hoping he doesn't hit something or someone. Thankfully, he'll be able to continue on here. Go Racing League Diecast LLC Super Series. Here at Charlotte Motor Speedway so far, putting on a heck of a show. Some great battles in between, some heavy hitters coming and going. Some trying to make a break for it early and get ahead of the field before it gets too little too late. Some basically just getting caught off guard or trapped in a whole lot of spots. Mayo says love it in the broadcast comment section here. Thank you so much there, Mayo, and everyone else for tuning on in. Just halfway through this one so far. If you hear me go silent a little bit here or there, guys, do not worry. I'm not having any technical difficulties or issues, nor any issues with my kids, thankfully. But I am getting a drink of water here or there to kind of keep up my breath and keep my vocals a little bit sound. So, like some people said, apparently I sound like I'm talking all caps. So I gotta have a little bit of some of that water to help out without the voice sometimes. Speaking of needing some water right now, I think Simley probably want to get a little bit of a cool down lap, so I hope thinking probably have some time to drink some of that water down in that cap too. If you're not sure what I'm talking about here, if you look on the bottom right side there, the corner, it's kind of hard to tell because of the angle, but there it is right there. You can see there is actually a little water bottle area there to hold your water and stuff and to drink from. Every NASCAR, Cup, Xfinity, and Trucks and ARCA car does it. So do the late model and super late model drivers. You're probably wondering at home, but why the heck do they have that in there? Simple. It gets hot in the car. And keep in mind, we are in Concord. It's not exactly the end of fall, summertime. So the heat down here is a little bit hot. So, and being on the southeast side of the country, and the south side of the country as well, I would presume that it's going to definitely take up a little bit of that heat, a little bit of that moisture out of your body. So you pretty much kind of have to get moisturized back up. That's why you need that water. But we're getting ready to roll it back down to the green flag here. Just under halfway done. And Scott Simley is going to be the one to take the reins. Will he be able to get this figured out? About the time to dive in. Green flag's back out. And talk about getting a start there out of the line. We've already seen what happens when Dolan goes on an offensive mode, but this time he's going to be in a bit different situation. And John Hickman Jr. trying to capitalize immediately. Gets onto the back of the 7. Seth Fouty in the 26, jumping into the positions. Every driver for themselves. Here's a lineup back off across the corners and across the plains. Now the field kind of moving their way into a single file line. Here comes Hickman Jr. though, down to the bottom. The 60 getting a little Winn-Dixie underneath them, and now he's feeling a little bit of that winds of change. The 60 to the line. Got a little help from the 19. Dalton looking to push him ahead and then cross him up for the race lead again. You got to go full power, full ingenuity, and full speed ahead to make wins here and get the drive ahead off. Simley trying to fight. He's driving for everything he's got. He has a slight advantage off the exits, but the straights are where he's in trouble. That bump draft is what's hurting him right now, and he's going to try to side draft again. He's going to try to hold it off down on turn 3 and 4. Can he keep his speed up and running? Dalton looking to try to counteract him. Great battling and maneuvering right now for your race leaders. Simley watching on as he can see his slips and trips of the corners here, catching him off guard. But the advantage for him is he's got turn 2's exit. Watch where Hickman Jr.'s at. You can see what Dalton's trying to do. He's trying to maneuver around him. Hickman Jr. needs to get a little higher up to get extra power to enter into turn 3. But he doesn't have it. So he's just relying on Dalton to push him and trying to get a little bit more of that momentum. Simley gets a slight advantage here because, again, he doesn't get the entry, but when he gets that exit, he's able to kind of push back around him and able to maneuver off to get that extra little kick of speed. Hickman Jr. wants to go up there. He got nudged by Simley, and Simley now trying to fight Dalton back off. Here comes Donaldson with a huge opening right in front of him. Saw a big chance for opportunity there. Ooh, hang on down there. You don't want to get too aggressive in there. He went right into the grassy plains, tried to open his own lawn care service, and I've already said this enough times. It's not 2020 no more, guys. You don't need the money that much unless you're tearing up your own equipment. So don't tear up the equipment. Look at this, the inside, a crossover jump. Simley going to move it down with Dalton. And now Hickman Jr. is the one that's going to be left all alone on the outside. Dalton just using this as a maneuver. It's almost statistically well known. This guy just will not let up. We've nicknamed him the Reign of Terror for a reason, and he is showing it again. Back and forth, back and forth. Every driver just wants a piece of that lead. Hickman Jr. still hanging on. Dalton probably getting a little bit annoyed right now, waiting for Donaldson to help him out. But Simley is also pushing the 60 as much as he can. Because you gotta believe Simley doesn't want anything to do with Dalton getting another win on the show, let alone on these races. Seth Fouty, Anthony M. Calatoni jumping their way up. Calatoni right now obviously trying to get himself his first super late model win of the season and prove he can race it with the best of them. And another caution out again. Where is this car? Oh my, we got one right on the front straight away. He is upside down. I was just going to say, where is this coming from? But the 16 of Steve Ritter has flipped the car upside down in a nasty little situation. A tough break there for him. We're going to go look at the replay. What the heck happened to the 16? Oh my word. Oh, right there, Zach Fouty, unfortunately. Oh, man. Zach just unfortunately catching him off guard. Look at the wheels. Look at the wheel on the right side. Oh, my. That's actually his left side, excuse me. That's to keep the car as low as he can to the ground and to give the most amount of speed, but that was a nasty situation. Oh, my. Take a look at the onboard camera here. I apologize for those at home that may get a little air sick inside the car here. Oh, this is the worst feeling as a driver, man. I absolutely hate this feeling. You're flipped on your roof. You're seeing nothing but the sparks. And there's nothing you can do. You can't even flip the car back out or get out of there. It's the worst possible feeling you can even imagine. So the caution flag coming out here on lap 45. What a tough break there, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, last time too, we broadcasted on the show, guys. We had an impressive and maybe one of the craziest calls we've seen in quite some time at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 3 drivers went for broke. 3 drivers came to the line, and only one of them came out on top. But a 3-wide salute straight to the finish, and only really separated out by the 3, just about a tire and a half at that. Hard to believe and crazy to think, but that was the case. And then, of course, Thursday night, we saw a little bit of a reinsurance, a little bit of a drive out there from one Tommy Ryan in the Next Gen Cup Series at Daytona. Put up the performance, put up the show, and he shut up some of the naysayers in a very strategic and crafty little race. But big congratulations to Shannon Wood, though, from Las Vegas last week, of course, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me. We were not with these guys last week. It was Labor Day weekend. Shannon not able to make the call today, so wherever they are at today, Shannon, we hope you're doing all right, and hope you'll be able to join us back here on the broadcast soon enough. Shannon Wood said, hey, missed the race tonight. Hey, what was he just going to say? Where is he at anyway? Yeah, you can comment in the section. Chris Evans says, dang, the 24 looked nice too. I can't say exactly what he said in the comment section. Let's just say otherwise I probably would get some people on my butt. And I do not need that right now. I'm already in the doghouse for a few other reasons. I don't need to be put in any more doghouses today. But yeah, that 24 did look nice, and unfortunately couldn't really do much about the damage suffered earlier, nor the problems. Sturgill pretty much out of this race here entirely. So we are going to refile, recenter, restack, re-rack, and all that. John Higman, Jr., Tyler Dalton, Scott Sidley, Wesley Donaldson, Seth Fauci, Anthony M. Calatoni, Mike Kelly, Charles Van Schaik, Ryan D. Cook, Ron Holyfield rounds out their top 10. Bracket them up, stack them, rack them, and set them back onto the track. It's about time we crank those loud pedals up, put the pedal back into the metal, tighten the seat belts up, boys, and grip that steering wheel like no tomorrow. We're going to roll them off through turn number 3 into turn number 4 and send them back their way. 31 laps left to go out of this 80-lap main event. Who's going to hang on first? Who's going to hang on long? Time to drive them off and figure this out. Higman Jr. gets the whole shot, greens back out. Rolling it down right now, Dalton immediately going high side and shooting for Higman Jr. That's your battle for the race lead. Meanwhile, mixing up in the back, Charles Van Schaik starting to get a bit of a speed boost off there as he gets around Wesley Donaldson. Dalton, wait a minute, he's going high side and he's flying. He went right up to the extreme outside lane, and somehow with that draft, that power, he was able to put it up ahead of Higman Jr. John probably not realizing where he was at till it was too little too late. I don't think we've seen anybody make a pass on the outside like that yet, so that was an interesting move. And a very tough spot to do that too. I would not have put 3 and 4 as the corner I would have done it at. 1 and 2 probably have been my best corner to say to go for. Because that's where you got that exit, of course, and that's where you had that momentum to work with. An interesting strategy and a very tough move to really work out there. Van Schaik, Donaldson, Holyfield, and Cook right now. Currently holding up your top 10 bracket. Galantoni, Foudy, Simley, and Hickman Jr. trying to find another way to get back to Dalton here. Ryan D. Cook, after all the hiccups and mistakes he made earlier, seems to be now kind of figuring it out and dealing with whatever he can. But that's not going to be a save for Holyfield. He gets about 4. We got a pile up as well. Oh, no, 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 no. Not what we want to see, race fans, nor do we want to have that happen again. And now the adrenaline rushes could be starting to get the better of some of these guys. What a huge little hit, unfortunately, for the number 11 machine. I was really just saying how Cook got cleared out at turn 3. This time, it's Holyfield and the number 1 being hit up there by Roger Strickland. Strickland, unfortunately, nowhere for him to go except straight into the other. What a tough break there for both drivers, and an absolutely huge hit there, unfortunately. Yeah, he really had nowhere to go. He was on the brake. He was just hoping it would come to a stop. You see a couple of those guys getting around him quickly there. Did not want to get into him. And what a tough break there, unfortunately. Absolutely horrendous hit. Just a bad spot and a timing issue there. Just not much you can do, too, because, again, these cars, they're designed for short tracks, not necessarily for these bigger tracks. And when you get into those corners, you get into those brackets, man, sometimes those hits, they will not feel good. So the field now, realizing they've put themselves in a bit of a troublesome spot here. And now all the momentum and all that power is going to now check these guys in yet again. And make it one more interesting little dilemma. The longer you go, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to beat some runs up to the front. And then you got drivers just trying to take it to their absolute limits and take it to their absolute position, tearing up themselves and tearing up the rest. That's what makes it so difficult to watch out for and narrow down. Race fans, give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who do you think is going to be able to walk away into victory lane? And who do you think could be asking to get themselves into some troubles? All Henders now down on the field and on the drivers. We have seen crazier things happen in these broadcasts before. You don't believe me? You may want to look at some of our other stuff. All right, 23 laps left to go here. All eyes on the number 19, Tyler Dalton, John Hickman Jr., and the number 60 trying to make amends, trying to make a bit of a speed gap here. Seth Foudy, Scott Simley. Holding up the other two rows, everybody lining up. Wind the speeds in, build the power up. Dalton ready to get him going. He got him off the start. Green's back out. Beautiful run coming down from turn number 1 and 2 there for the 19, the 60 as well. King with them. Seth Foudy, Scott Simley right now. They are all trying to line off the corners here. And don't count out Cal Tony right now. The Talking Giants versus the world is engaged on the scene. 15 spots up. He's the hard charger of the day. Now make it 16. Looking to increase it. He started back, I believe, in the 19th spot. Or no, 20th spot, excuse me. Starting 20th today. He's going to absolutely look to cook the rest of the field up. Maybe buttered him up a little bit to save for the big feast. It's hard to say, you know, I think he is a Northeastern kind of guy, so. But he is definitely one driver you can't put your name off from. And the same can be said for this number 26 today, Seth Foudy. And maybe it put himself in a little bit of some headaches in some other drivers' minds. One thing you can't deny, though, is that 26 has been fast, it's been mean, it's been clean, it's been mean, it's been deemed to be a tough competitor. Simley lined up with Hickman Jr. Now Dalton's going to have all he wants and all he's worth. And I think the crazy thing is, too, is once Dalton took the lead away, he has not been passed for the lead under a normal green flag. Could that finally change here? They're going to try it. Simley was going to the bottom. Hickman Jr. was trying to line him off. Didn't quite go the way he was hoping for. Meanwhile, in the back of the pack right now. Oh, no! That's trouble! That's trouble! Kramer catches Zachary Foudy. They're off turn number 4, and another problem. Zachary trying to get squared up and get the car dialed off, get it away from the rest of the field, but a nasty hit comes from it. Oh, my word, race fans. We were just catching it as it was going around. I was going to talk about Wesley Donaldson right now, having all he was worth with dealing with Kevin England and Zachary Foudy, but unfortunately Dakota Kramer and Zachary catching each other in the midst of issues. Keeping the car at least on all 4 wheels, but Zachary not a happy camper. The Dodge Charger has been pretty much, at this point, in Matt Hardy's words, deleted. He just drifted up slightly. Kramer was coming right down low off 4, trying to set the turn up. And then that happened, and oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, ouch. Not a good spot. What an unfortunate collision there. Absolutely heartbreaking, tough spot to be in, tough place to run from. Man, what a travesty there, unfortunately. So right now, everybody currently getting back into working order. Trying to find their little identity and try to get themselves squared up. So the field now, right at the moment, needs to get themselves rolled off. We have now doubled them up, 15 laps to go. All bets are off at this point. It's either you just run that thing into the ground and hope for the best, or you'll find yourself somewhere in the mess. Your choice. Here we go now. Gonna lead them down, 15 to go. Who's coming out on top of this one? Green flag back out. Let's find out. Tony trying to get to the bottom, immediately got dripped up there by Simley. Wesley Donaldson right now, the 91, and Samuel Orell in the number 43, harrowing edge to head. Donaldson slapped up on the outside. Still all scraping and bruise off turn number 3 there. Stays clear. And you can see right now too, Hickman Jr. maybe trying to back off a little bit to get some of that airflow to get it right back onto the track and right back into his car. If you back off a little bit and kind of hold and kind of drag the brake for a sec, then go gassing right back at it, you can actually get a little bit more of a kick from your car. Because not only have you got some of the dust and grime ripped off, but the airflow around the car will now build up a huge amount of speed. Think of it like a turbo boost almost with these cars. Allowing you to take a chance and making the pass and making an opportunistic move. John Hickman Jr. well aware of that, and he's trying to get it figured out here. But Charles Van Schaik also laying it back in there and started 11th. He's now in the 5th spot, 6 spots up. And John Hickman Jr. into the wall off turn number 4. Got himself too close, tightened it up too much, and now he loses every bit of speed he had to get to Dalton. That might have been his last chance too. Absolutely heartbreaking. There's not much he can really do about it though. Scott Simley right now, picking up where Hickman Jr. left off. This is your 5-car battle for the race win. Seth Bowdy right now trying to rally the troops up behind him and catch back up to that field and that gap. Maybe easier said than done. You can see the gaps distanced up between these drivers, everyone for themselves. Scott Simley is coming ever so closer to Dalton. He's putting that bumper right on him. Trying to make a move. He's going to get a shot. He's got a chance. Nope. Going to get down off it. Calatoni now. Looking to capitalize on that mistake from Simley, but the problem is for Calatoni, he's going to be left all alone on the outside. High side drive. Trying to build up speed for the run just like Dalton did earlier. No dice there. Now it's Charles Van Schaik, almost just pushing every ounce of speed left underneath him into the 7. Oh, rubbed off a little on the 84. I don't know if Calatoni's going to appreciate that very much. might get a little bit mad about it. Dalton still blocking, still giving everything she's got there, trying to ling it off. He just knows if he gets one opening that 7, yeah, he's going to catch him here. Stays confident, though, that he'll be able to hold him down. Remember how much longer? 7 laps to go, this time on by. Despite that little hiccup there for John Hickman Jr., the fact that he stayed with the draft, it's been pretty much kind of his go-to coup de grace. Now just trying to hang on, trying to hope for a bit of a breather here. Coming around out of that turn number 3. Another opening. Simley couldn't capitalize, and now he's in trouble. He's got shifted up, and he's spinning. Wow, turn number 4. Watch out for the 7. We've got a caution. Oh, 3 of them going for a ride. Fauci in there. Mike Kelly as well. And Wesley Donaldson, I believe, also getting out of that one in just the nick of time. But a top break there, unfortunately, for the number 7 of Scott Simley. Tried so hard to launch it into the turn and get it to roll off, only to be duped again. Oh, this was what we were worried about. This is where the intensity was going to kick up a few places. Right there, man. Just lifted it right on the bottom. He was too hard on the gas pedal. The car was trying to stabilize. You can see he braked, get out of it. And that's what happened to Kelly there and Foudy, trying to avoid the 7. Simley just could not believe he made that mistake when he did. But unfortunately, as I say in racing, things like this are going to happen. Watch this again, roll it off. See Kelly try to avoid it. Thought he got out of the way in time. Sammy Morrell, that was the one that got him. I saw 3 of them in there. I just couldn't figure out who the 3rd one is for a minute, and that was where the troubles came from. And now those that suffered damage in there now have to try to find a way to get it out of that quick and get it put back together with just a mere 3 or 4 laps left, whichever one they'll go with. What an absolutely crazy day of racing here in Concord. But that is just sometimes how we spin and tell our tale. Calatoni right now looking for redemption on the guy that, in his mind, took the championship by his own mistake. Charles Van Schaik trying to take down Dalton by going from the outhouse to travel to the White House. John Hickman Jr. looking to make up for the mistake earlier that gave Dalton the opportunity to take the race lead away from him. Sammy Morrell still, and I mean still, searching for a race win after so long out of the spotlight. Your top 5 guys right now have got a lot on their plate and a lot to think about. Well, I mean, at this point, what else do you want to know? It's a green-white checker attempt coming up. 2 laps left. If we go to it from here, we'll have 2 more to go for green-white checker attempts. But Tyler Dalton right now is in the driver's seat. This whole shot determines his fate. How does he dare face the consequences? How does he dare face the drive-off here? All centers around one ideal. Make your move and make it to break it, or hope for the best. Your call. They're going to lead their way around off turn number 4 this time on by Tyler Dalton, Charles Van Schaik, Anthony M. Calatoni, Jakeman Jr., Ryan D. Cook, and Samuel Rell. Your top 3 rows. For possibly the final time today, race fans. Fans on their feet, lined up in position to set the green. Well, who will take it home to victory lane? Back of that pack did not get a start they were looking for. Dalton taking the early lead. Calatoni immediately trying to get Van Schaik to push him. Hoping for a break. Hoping for some help. Hoping for some luck. It's not looking too good right now. He needs every bit of help he can get to Dalton. White flag this time on by. Dalton pretty much set that one right out the way he wanted it to. Van Schaik, Calatoni desperately, and I mean almost pleading with the draft, looking for the racing lords to help him. Dalton is just too far ahead though, I think. They're going to try it anyway. One more big push. Might have a chance, but not going to be enough time though. Off of turn number 3 to turn number 4. Let his reign commence again. The reign of terror. Tyler Dalton wins it at Charlotte. Well, how about that? Calatoni going down there to say congrats. You get this one. And you know, for a Carolina native, I think Dalton may have just made a few good friends out there. I don't think this entire race he was passed while he was under the green if he was in the lead. This entire time it was all about who could find a way to get around him. Well, green-white checker may have duked them all into that one. And a troublesome state. Dalton just sneaks this one right out of everyone's fingers. Here's your race results now on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. What a performance by the number 19 camp. A long, long road for them and the team. Anthony M. Calatoni, he'll take home a solid second. Charles Van Schaik, going to go home third. John Hickman Jr. going to go fourth. Fifth to Ryan D. Cook. Sixth to Samuel Harrell. Seventh to going to Wesley Donaldson. Eighth to Scott Sinley. Ninth to Dakota Kramer. 10th, Jerry Livingston, the living legend, comes out on top with the top 10. The rest of your finishers on your screen, some unable to finish the race. Well, safe to say I don't think the burnouts and donuts are quite done just yet there from Tyler Dalton. He's going to enjoy this one for a while, but ladies and gentlemen, let's take a listen to our position here. Well, I think I may have came in the wrong time there, Charles.
No, it's something on Discord, the soundboard. I can't figure out every time I join a room, so I can't figure out how to turn it off.
Oh, okay. I was about to say there, but nevertheless, Charles, congratulations on a third place finish, and I can say you definitely busted your know-what for everything you did here today to get to that top spot. But how was it like having to try to travel from the outhouse to get back up there into this podium for this finish out today?
Yeah, it's just, I was treating it, I know a lot of people were probably flooring it most laps. I was just treating it like a regular Charlotte, letting off, getting to the line. Not letting off fully, but, you know, 40% throttle, getting to the line, and then gassing it out. So, I feel I had a slight tire advantage. Still suck on the restarts, so You know, I wish I was starting third there instead of second. I probably had a better position or a shot at the win. But yeah, just navigating through a couple guys getting loose in front of me, and you know, made the high line work a couple times. But all in all, it was a pretty good day to start. You know, not qualifying, just move up.
Well, I did want to ask about that too. You said the start kind of got you in trouble there, but I'll ask this. I mean, you really tried to get that draft to work with Calatoni there, and unfortunately, it looked like it was either a lap or two short. Had you had a couple more laps, or if not one more lap, do you think it might have been enough to get to Dalton there with that draft, the way these cars handle?
Oh, 100%. And if I would have known, you know, because when you're up on someone's rear, you really can't see the car in front. If I would have known there was a bigger gap, you know, I was kind of looking in the rear view too. John was poking there. If I would have known he was that far, I think every single turn I could have went under him and past him. But second, third's all the same. So I was trying to push up there and have those two go at it and maybe find a hole. But, you know, my horrible restart didn't help anyone but the leader on that one.
Well, it may not have helped in this case, but hey, at the end of the day, you are still going to walk away with a solid third place. Charles, I have to ask you about this, sir. Who do you want to thank you for this one?
You know, for PTM for doing the broadcast, my admins, teammates, obviously my company is the one that sponsors Goat Race and Diecast. Still have the 20% off using promo code giveaway20 at goatraceanddiecast.com. And yeah, MDR Graphics for doing all my paint schemes, logos, company, league, racing team, everything. And yeah, just Tyler for setting up these leagues and working on these setups, because obviously there's no setups for these tracks, so Tyler does all these, so I appreciate him and what he does.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Charles, man, congratulations coming back into the podium. Great to see you back here, sir.
Yep, you too. Thanks, man.
Charles Van Scheik, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony M. Calatoni, your second place finisher, now join us here under the call list. And now, Calatoni, once more, sir, another great performance, another great drive. This time, though, Dalton getting you ahead here at Charlotte. I mean, talk to me about this one, sir. It looked like you had a great little push and a great run there from the end there.
Yeah, Christian, I guess we're going to have to share the love here around. Everyone's going to start getting wins here. I don't think we've had a repeat winner so far this season, but yeah, you got no practice. Came in with about 30 seconds left of the server and started dead last and got P2.
Got P2, got yourself a nice little position there from everything you've dealt with and gone from here to there. I'll ask you this, though. I mean, all around this 84 team, it's been solid. It's been really getting more and more better as it goes. But for the time being, I mean, I got to ask you, I mean, what's going to be the biggest what's going to be the biggest thing you kind of take going into the next race, which, if I'm reading it right, you're heading down to Nashville Super Speedway next time out, a concrete track.
We're going to go try and get the dub. I mean, I feel like that I'm confident and I'm pretty good on the concrete tracks. I don't know if you ever watch a race at Dover. Dover's one of my most favorite tracks, and I guess that's kind of a somewhat sister track to Nashville. So Nashville's a little bit bigger, but I like the concrete. I know how to save my stuff on the concrete, so we'll see what happens next week.
Well, we have seen you at Dover before and put it on one heck of a performance there. We'll see if we can move one position up, though, from where you were at last time. Nevertheless, Calatoni, as you come away today with the second place finish, you know what to do. Who do you want to thank for this one?
We're going to thank the Talking Giants crew, John Boy Media, the fans, you for the broadcast, all the sponsors for the league, and I think that was it.
All right.
And the Sim 500 Mafia team. I keep forgetting the team name.
Well, at least you got it figured out this time. Calatoni, man, it's great to hear from you again, sir. Congratulations taking it home for a podium.
Thank you, Christian. We'll see you again.
See you again soon, buddy. Calatoni, ladies and gentlemen. And coming away today, the race winner. Well, was there any doubt? It is the Reign of Terror himself, Tyler Dalton, back with us. And Tyler, once more, sir, living up to the reputation. Although it sounds like this league has been a lot harder to put that to good use, put that on the track side here. I mean, how does it feel to kind of get back to the victory lane after a while here in the Super Late Model Series?
Yeah, it feels great. This is one of my favorite tracks, obviously, at Charlotte, home track. And came out here, and honestly, most of the race was trying to just manage the tires. I knew didn't want to really get the rears too hot, or else it would start to get pretty loose. So trying to manage the tires, and then the run there at the end, John had gotten in front of us, couldn't really get by him on the bottom, and then we had a restart and drove it in there really hard into 1 and 2, and was able to get to his outside and clear him. And after that, I had a couple more cautions. Then that last restart, felt like we just got a really good start, and I'd saved my tires enough where I could pretty much maintain that gap and make up for the draft they had behind me. But really happy to get a win tonight. We were a really fun race. We're starting to get the cautions down a little bit. Guys starting to get more used to the car. So had a really fun time.
Had a really fun time indeed. Dalton, obviously, I think the last pass you made, I believe it was for the race lead there, which was against John Hickman Jr. Going up on the outside line down 3 and 4, I mean, there's a lot of drivers that try to get to work up there. I got to ask, how did you even get that thing to roll off as well as you did, let alone get the speed kind of kick off from that exit?
Honestly, you just had to send it in there and give it a little bit of extra wheel, use up some of that tires that you'd saved. And you could get it to stick, but you had to be careful that it didn't get loose on you. It seemed like the most important thing with speed is making sure the car did not get loose. The straighter you could keep it, the faster you could carry your straightaway speed. So it's really important to make sure that you weren't scrubbing off any speed by getting loose.
Well, this case definitely helped out in this run and this time. So home track win for you, Dalton. Who do you want to thank you for this one, buddy?
Thank all the guys at the 7500 Mafia. Great 1-2 finish for us. Good finish for John Hickman there in 4th. Hate it for him barely scrubbing the wall up there and losing some spots. I think he'd have been right there 2nd and 3rd as well. But still 4th, still a good finish. It was just a really good outing for the team. I want to thank all the admins here that put on the show. I know there's a lot of hard work that goes behind the scenes to make all this work nice and smoothly. And I want to thank you for putting on the broadcast.
For sure there, Tyler, man. Been a pleasure to call these ones here with you guys. Congratulations to getting back into victory lane today.
Thank you.
Tyler Dalton, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner and ending out the night in Charlotte Motor Speedway. So with that said, ladies fans, a big thank you again to the folks at Goats Racing Diecast LLC. Big thank you to them. Be sure to visit them up on their Facebook. Get yourself some diecast custom made your way. Fans and friends alike, it's been a pleasure. And until we join you guys next time on the broadcast, be safe out there. We'll see you soon.